Good morning. Thank you all for joining. We will get started in just a moment. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are providing testimony before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman of the Board, Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Licensing Board. Today I'm also joined by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you very much. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly if you will be testifying before the board this morning. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the licensee, who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, and whether there are any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify. I will then swear in all parties. After that, the police report will be read into the record, and the licensee or the representative will have the opportunity to make a brief statement, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. All testimony will be limited only to those individuals with firsthand personal knowledge of the alleged incident. We'll begin with item number 1, calling Boston Ballroom Corporation, doing business as Royale, located at 279 Tremont Street. Date of the incident, January 1st, 2026. Assault and battery, employee on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A, who is present on behalf of the licensee. Is anybody here on behalf of Royale?
Let's try to contact them and do a second call.
We certainly will. Calling item number 2, Trinity Stewart Concessions LLC, doing business as the Raffles Hotel, located at 40 Trinity Place. Date of the incident, May 1st, 2026. Person in charge, failure to notify police of an assault and battery, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.14b. Over occupancy on the lower level, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J, 1.06A, and F. And the certificate of inspection expired in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.02b. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton for the licensee. With me is Alex Gomez, Carlos Bueno, and Marie Newton.
Thank you. I see Marie Newton joining in the waiting room right now.
Good morning.
Great, thank you. I see Mr. Gomez, I see Mr. Bueno, and if Marie Newton will be testifying, I'll just ask her to come on camera, and there she is. Thank you very much. Oh, Ms. Newton, your visuals are not working, so if you will be testifying, we'll ask you to fix that prior to providing your testimony. Who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Rachel. Oh. Sergeant Rachel McGuire.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
I swear.
Thank you, Sergeant McGuire. If you could please read the police report into the record for the board.
About 11:17 p.m. Friday, May 1st, 2026, Officer Crowley and Byrne, assigned to the D4 CIT unit, the 701 and 702, along with Officer Potts, the Delta 691 Frank, responded to a radio call for an assault and battery in progress inside of the Blind Duck Speakeasy located at 40 Trinity Place, Boston. Upon arrival to location, officers immediately asked building security and staff if they knew where the fight was taking place. One of the valet workers informed the responding officers that the suspect had already left the premise and fled on Stewart Street in the direction of downtown. Officers then spoke to the Directory of Security, Marie Newton, who informed the officers that she had no knowledge of an issue inside the property. Officers explained to Newton the facts given to them in the radio call and requested access to the security tapes. Officer Crowley and Newton checked the cameras for several minutes and did not see any signs of a physical altercation. After several minutes, the officers were able to locate the caller, later identified as Yusuf Robin of Weston, Mass. The officers could clearly see that Robin was clearly upset and shaken up about the incident. Robin informed the officers that the suspect was described as a white male, approximately 6'4", with blonde hair and a beard, wearing jeans and a dark blue crew neck. Robin also told the officers that the suspect was no longer on scene. When officers asked Robin what happened, he informed the officers that he was paying for his drinks at the bar when he got into an argument with the suspect. During this time, Robin told the officers that he turned back around to pay for the drinks and when the suspect quickly grabbed. After grabbing Robin, the suspect then proceeded to grab his neck and strangle him for a few seconds. Robin told the officers that he did not lose consciousness and denied any medical treatments. Once the physical altercation ended, Robin informed the officers that the suspect grabbed his jacket and left the premises after the altercation. Robin also waved down a bouncer, informed him of the incident, and asked him to call 911 and to help. Staff then proceeded to remove the suspect from the property. Officers then advised Robin that the incident will be documented and if his health changes to seek medical attention. Due to the fact that there was an assault and battery inside of a licensed premise, officers requested the D4 patrol supervisor to respond to their location and conduct a licensed premise check, a code 35. Sergeant McGuire arrived on scene and contacted the bar manager, Alex Gomez. Sergeant McGuire conducted a code 35 on the Blind Duck Speakeasy and issued a licensed premise inspection notice number 070288. While the supervisor was conducting the code 35, officers spoke to the bouncer who observed the assault and battery. The bouncer, Giovanni Georges, stated that the suspect and victim exited the bar and were not fighting. Once outside the bar, the victim told him of the assault, and the suspect then attempt to go back at the victim a second time. Georges did tell the officers that the victim asked him to call police, which he refused to do, and Georges didn't pass the information along to any of his co-workers nor supervisor.
Thank you very much. Attorney Upton, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yes, thank you. Sergeant, were the licensee staff cooperative with your investigation?
Yes, sir.
When police arrived, had the incident ended?
Yes, sir.
Was 911 called by someone in relation to this incident?
Yes, called by the victim.
That's all I have for the sergeant. Thank you. But I would like to call Alex Gomez, the bar manager. That is permissible.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Gomez.
Good morning.
What is your full name and your position at the Blind Duck?
My name is Alexis Gomez, and I'm the Blind Duck manager.
Were you there on the night of May 1st?
Yes.
Did security immediately contain the situation and remove the aggressor from the premises?
Yes.
Were staff members in the presence of the victim in the immediate aftermath of the incident?
Yes.
Was a BPD detail officer on site?
No.
Did staff see the victim call 911 to report the incident?
Yes.
Did any staff member refuse to call police?
No.
Knowing that 911 had already been called and with the situation diffused and not ongoing, did the staff decide not to call 911 because 911 had already been called?
Correct.
Did the bouncer who removed the aggressor report what happened to superiors?
Yes.
Is it Blind Duck policy to call 911 after an incident?
Yes.
Excuse me. Had security staff and management not witnessed the victim call 911, are you confident that staff would have called 911?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have a couple of questions on the inspection certificate. Is the Blind Duck up to date on their inspections?
Yes.
Was the up-to-date certificate of inspection displayed on May 1st?
Yes.
Was the certificate displayed alongside other licenses and permits?
Yes.
Was the previous year's expired certificate of inspection among those documents displayed on the board with the permits?
Yes.
Has the expired certificate of inspection now been removed from this board so that the up-to-date 2026 certificate of inspection is the only certificate displayed?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have a couple questions about the overcrowding issue. What is the total capacity of the Blind Duck?
91.
So on 5/1/2026, you were under total occupancy of the space as a whole.
Correct.
How many are allowed on each level?
44 upstairs and 47 downstairs.
So it sounds like the police counted over 47 downstairs. What contributed to more than 50 people?
There is one bathroom in Blind Duck, and it's on the lower floor. And there's only one stall, so it collects a long line, contributing to the factor of more people on the lower floor.
Okay. In the future, will you more closely monitor the stairs between the first and second levels and the bathroom to make sure no more than 44 people are on either level at at any time?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have a brief summary and would like to call on Carlos Bueno for a short statement after that. This was an unforeseeable incident involving two patrons at the Blind Duck. The licensee's security staff immediately contained the situation, removed the aggressor from the premise in a safe and responsible manner as trained. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, the victim of the A and B called 911 in the presence of security staff and the assistant manager. The Blind Duck staff are trained to make sure 911 is called for any incident, and they felt at the time that 911 had been called, having directly witnessed the call being placed. Knowing that 911 had already been called, and with the situation diffused, the licensee did not make a second 911 call. When the police did arrive, the situation had been diffused completely. Raffles conducted a post-incident review, and in conversations with the police requested that a second 911 call be made in the future. The hotel has amended their written policy to specifically state that 911 calls should always be placed by licensee staff, even if 911 has already been called by a customer or party involved in the incident. They've retrained all security and service staff on this new policy and have held individual meetings with staff and shift managers to emphasize the importance of this new policy. On the certificate of inspection, the licensee certificate was renewed and current and was displayed on the night of the incident, but it was displayed on the same board as another expired certificate. And when asked, the staff pointed to both certificates that were posted on the wall, and in the excitement, a citation was generated. The current certificate is now the only one posted, which should avoid any future confusion. On the overcapacity, the licensee's capacity on the lower level was over according to the BPD. The Blind Duck has two levels, upstairs and downstairs. They did not exceed the total capacity, but they exceeded the first floor capacity due to the fact that the bathrooms are located on the first level and people walk down the internal stairs and were waiting for access to the bathroom. While the licensee does not want to impede or prevent people from using the bathroom, they will now closely monitor the stairs in the future, not just the door, to ensure they are staying not only under the total capacity, but under the individual first and floor capacities as well. I would now like to have Hotel General Manager Carlos Bueno make a brief statement.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. As the general manager for the property, I just want to say that we take alcohol service and compliance with the board and with the ABCC regulations a priority for us. This incident really brought some items to light. We've conferred with Boston Police, and we have revised our internal policies. We are committed to best practices and full compliance with all alcohol-related matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bueno. That's all from us. We are glad to answer any questions from the board.
Thank you very much. We'll see if there are any at this time. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Upton, for all that helpful information and for joining us, Mr. Bueno and Mr. Gomez. I would like to request that you submit for our review your training manual that you said you revised after talking to Boston Police, and as well as the internal report that the police write-up refers to from that night? The documentation of the incident?
Yep, we would be happy to.
Okay. I have no other questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, the board will take this matter under advisement, and please do send along the revised training manual as well as any internal reports of the incident that exist.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You.
Calling item number 3, Dorset Restaurant Group LLC, doing business as Landmark Public House located at 772 Adams Street in Dorchester. Date of the incident, April 19th, 2026. Assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, Chapter 265, Section 13A, and assault and battery employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who is present on behalf of the licensee? Yep, I do see you raising your hand. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yep, Edward Brooks.
Okay.
And I'm also joined here by Brianna Feely and Jack O'Brien, my security manager and manager. They're probably labeled Edward Brooks too, I think, on the Zoom.
Ah, yes, great. I do see. Yep, I see both of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, to proceed. Okay. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name.
Not quite
sorry.
yet, Mr. Brooks. We're first
Sorry.
going to swear you in, and we'll ask who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department.
So sorry.
No worries. So who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department on this item?
Sergeant Detective Paul Donlin.
Thank you. Now, are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Detective Donlin. If you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Okay, at about 1:42 a.m. on Sunday, April 19th, 2026, officers Flaherty and Fulham were assigned to the Harry 103A, responded to the radio call for disturbance, verbal altercation, argument at 772 Adams Street, Dorchester, the Landmark Public House. Another officer responded to the scene to assist. Upon arrival, officers, a male later identified as John Murphy, gave his date of birth, shouting at the front door of the Landmark Public House, exchanging words with the doorman. Officers immediately separated Murphy from the establishment and walked him to the corner of Adams and Minot Street. Murphy spoke with Officer Fulham and stated that he was in the restroom speaking with a couple of guys, and a doorman, later revealed to be John O'Brien with the date of birth, was using the restroom, leaned back from a stall and told Murphy to get out of the bathroom. Murphy stated that he exchanged words with O'Brien, and O'Brien stated something to the effect, "You don't know who you're talking to which Murphy stated he responded, "No, you don't know who you're talking to which O'Brien responded, "No, I'm the bouncer." Murphy stated that after the exchange that O'Brien attacked him, forcing him to the ground of the restroom. Murphy stated that other bouncers came into the bathroom and began kicking on his body and head. Officers observed Murphy to have what appeared to be dry blood coming from his mouth, and Murphy showed officers what appeared to be a lump on his scalp and a cut that was bleeding. Officers requested Boston EMS to Landmark Public House to evaluate Murphy. Boston EMS 823 responded to evaluate Murphy. Murphy was assessed and ultimately declined the need for transportation to the hospital. Murphy was reunited with his possessions that were lost and left the scene with an associate, stating that he was staying at an associate's house on Ashmont Street. Officer Flaherty spoke with the doorman bouncer, John Jack O'Brien, who stated he observed a commotion in the restroom and observed Murphy to be causing an issue. O'Brien stated that he told Murphy to leave the bathroom. O'Brien stated that Murphy, unprovoked, struck him in the side of the head, pointing to the left side of his head with a closed fist, and stated that he defended himself by striking Murphy back. Officer Flaherty also spoke with a witness and co-worker of O'Brien, Samuel O'Hannesson, who stated that he saw a commotion in the restroom and went to check things out and observed O'Brien and Murphy engaged in a fist fight. Officer Flaherty then spoke to manager Brianna Feely, gives a date of birth, who stated that the events occurred in the woman's restroom and that O'Brien was attempting to remove Murphy, and that is when the fight began. Officer Flaherty requested a patrol supervisor to the scene to conduct a license premise check. The Fox 982 Sergeant Detective Dorman responded and issued a license premise citation for assault and battery, patron on employee, and assault and battery, employee on patron. License premise citation was issued. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. All right, now, Mr. Brooks, if you would like to address the alleged incident, you and Mr. O'Brien and Ms. Feely may do so.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Detective. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Edward Brooks. I am the owner and manager of record of Dorset Restaurant Group and Landmark Public House. I'm joined by Brianna Feely, who is our manager, and also Jack O'Brien, who is our security manager. I was there on that night, but wasn't present in the building at the time of the incident. However, it's my understanding, just talking to staff and some patrons, that in fact, Jack went to investigate a commotion back by the men's room, and he found about 10 guys in the bathroom, all causing a ruckus. One individual was causing most of the disturbance in there, which turned out to be the gentleman in question. And he was actually seen, after speaking to some patrons, just a few minutes prior, trying to get into the ladies' room. So he was, kind of all over the place. Jack attempted to remove everyone from the bathroom and said everyone needs to get out of the bathroom. And this gentleman was walking out, and I believe as Jack kind of tried to guide him out, turned around unprovoked and struck Jack in the head, where they both engaged with each other. Jack had to subdue him, so they went to the ground, and he was still fighting, and they had another door guy and Brianna came over, and that's where they removed him out the back door, which was right by the bathrooms. And that at that time, Jack called the police while the gentleman was outside. There was no further physical altercations, but he was still causing a disturbance outside until the police arrived. And then I'll allow, and from there, I'll allow Jack, if he wants to speak on and give a firsthand account of what happened.
Definitely. And thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. So my name is Jack O'Brien. I was the head of security for Landmark Public House at the time. And so on the night in question, I just observed a disturbance towards the bathroom. And when I walked in, I saw between 10 to 12 people in there, causing a disturbance, with the person in question sort of leading the charge. I asked them first nicely to, exit the bathroom and take the situation out onto, because it was just to take it out onto the bar floor and to get out of the bathroom, right? I would, 10 of the people left right away. And that was when the person in question started to engage with me. I asked him to leave the restaurant. And when we were walking out towards the door, I had some distance in between he and I, and that is when he turned around and threw a sucker punch at me. At that moment, I had to, engage with the person in question and subdue the situation. We went to the ground, and that's when another member of our bouncers came over to assist me, and another member of the restaurant came over, and we removed him through the back door. When he walked out the back door, he came around to the front. That is when he started threatening other patrons, threatening other bouncers as he was trying to regain entry into the bar. At that moment, I realized that the situation had, gone further outside of the front door, which is when I made the decision to call the police. And when the police arrived is when they finally removed him from the premises.
And Brianna, would you mind just giving your account, please?
Yes. Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm one of the managers at Landmark Public House. I witnessed commotion happening on that night in the back near the bathrooms. Jack, our bouncer, went over to go check out the commotion. From there was one particular guy getting in his face, getting aggressive with Jack, and then ended up attacking him. From there, the bouncers were able to get the customer out of the premises. Jack then from there called the police since the customer was harassing the bouncers from outside, trying to get back into the premises.
Thank you, Brianna. That's all we have. We're happy to answer any questions from the board and Madam Chair.
Great, thank you all. We will see if the board has any questions for you at this time. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you for that, all that information. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there are no questions, then the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Croke Park Inc., doing business as Croke Park, located at 268 West Broadway in South Boston. Date of the incident, May 9th, 2026. Assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, Chapter 265, Section 13A. Assault and battery, patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A, and failure to cooperate with police investigation in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.10A and B. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
Daniel Kelly and Hallie Cudahy.
Thank you very much. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Detective Paul Donlin.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
No, other than what we mentioned.
Thank you. Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Donlin, once again, if you could please read the report into the record.
Good morning. At about 9:51 p.m. on Saturday, May the 9th, 2026, Officers Porcaro and Grande in the Fox 201 responded to a radio call for a fight located at 268 West Broadway. Also assisting were a few other officers, the Fox 602F and the 603F. Upon arrival, officers observed a male later identified as Michael D'Amore on the ground in front of the Croke Park Bar, 268 West Broadway. Officers were informed by the staff for the bar that D'Amore had started an altercation inside of the bar with other patrons, and while attempting to strike an unknown patron, he instead struck a female bartender. The staff for the bar informed officers that D'Amore was physically removed from the bar by the staff. Officers attempted to gain the information from the staff members, victims, but all parties declined to provide any information to the officers. Officers spoke to D'Amore, who appeared to be extremely intoxicated by slurring his words and acting aggressively. Officers observed D'Amore to be bleeding profusely from his nose and left hand. Officers attempted to de-escalate D'Amore and requested Boston EMS to respond to evaluate his injuries. D'Amore continued to act aggressive and belligerent towards officers and wiped blood from his face and hand and intentionally flung it at Officer Porcaro's face, making contact with his face and neck and exposing him to D'Amore's blood. Officers attempted to restrain D'Amore, and he intentionally flung blood from his face and hand at Officer Bruin, making contact with his face and exposing him to D'Amore's blood. Officers detained D'Amore, and moments later, Boston EMS A6 arrived to evaluate D'Amore. Officers contacted Fox 905 Sergeant Farrell and advised him of the circumstances. Due to the injuries to D'Amore and the treatment needed for his injuries, as well as his level of intoxication, officers escorted Boston EMS A6 and D'Amore to Boston Medical Center for him to receive a medical evaluation. Officers completed a criminal complaint for D'Amore to be summoned to South Boston Court for 2 counts of assault and battery on a police officer. The Fox 982D Sergeant Detective Donlin completed a Code 35 at Croke Park. Sergeant Detective Donlin was able to speak to the female bartender victim, Hallie Cudahy, who stated that she was kicked in the leg by D'Amore during the altercation inside the bar. Cudahy declined the need for EMS and wanted to pursue charges against D'Amore. Sergeant Detective Donlin cited the establishment for assault and battery, patron on employee, assault and battery, patron on patron, and failure to cooperate with police investigation. Officers completed exposure forms. That's it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kelly. Ms. Cudahy, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yeah, so there's a lot of confusion in the middle of all this. First of all, the gentleman came to the door and I didn't let him in at all. And the reason I hadn't even to make a determination, he was obviously either drunk or insane, but he didn't produce an ID or didn't think he needed to produce an ID. So I didn't let him in. And within minutes of that, there was police activity outside. And that's the first I knew of what was going on outside. But the other confusion is that I don't know where the theory came from that Hallie Cudahy was an employee. She was actually arrived outside coming from someplace else and was on her way in. And I let Hallie explain all that. But for me, he was never inside and we never served him. And it was obviously that he had some serious either mental problems or whatever it is, drunk or whatever. But Hallie can explain maybe why the police thought she wasn't cooperating, or I don't know why they thought she was an employee, because she was just coming from some function that you were at, right?
Yeah, I was at my nephew's communion, but I was outside finishing a smoke and noticed all the commotion. Then the cops came in, the kid's leg ended up hitting mine. I just went inside because I wanted no part. It didn't hurt me. It wasn't like malicious. I don't think it was intentionally towards me. So when the police officer came in, I just kind of brushed it off and was like, no, I'm fine. I didn't mean to be disrespectful and like not cooperate by any means though.
Anything further you would like to explain to the board?
No, but I'm very concerned that the police would think that we wouldn't cooperate, because I think it's safe to say that the regular license board police would know by this time that I'm a huge supporter of the police and always have been.
Okay, we will see if the board has any questions for you. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Yes. Sergeant Detective, did you just do the code 35 or did you respond to the incident?
I responded afterwards and spoke to
Okay.
the officers that had responded to the scene.
Okay. And your conversation with the officers who responded to the scene, they told you that this guy, the suspect, was inside and they were having a hard time getting information from the staff?
I think the original call, I was looking at the net viewer for the call. The original call comes in and states, caller states a group of 5 males and females fighting in the middle of the street. No weapons were seen. Caller states he left the scene, called police in case of escalation. That's
Okay.
how the original call came in.
Okay. All right, thank you. And it's Mr. Ryan, is that right?
Oh, Mr. Kelly.
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Kelly.
Mr. Kelly. Sorry, you're on under
Yeah, I'm not too used to the Mr. part, but it's Danny Kelly.
Danny Kelly.
Yeah.
So your testimony today is that this individual never was inside your
He
bar?
possibly was a foot or 18 inches inside where I talked to people, but he didn't get in any further than that. Absolutely.
Okay, and your testimony is that this altercation happened because you refused to let him inside?
No, I don't believe that. I believe that, it would jive with the theory where he was fighting with the police. This guy was not of right mind at all. I think he might have been starting, that he didn't necessarily have a reason for what was going on.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because he didn't have any problem with me when I wouldn't let him in, except he just looked confused when I asked him for the ID,
So did you answer all the police officers' questions that night
No.
that they had?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
But I think for some reason, Hallie works in 2 bars adjacent to here. And I think somebody outside said that she's a bartender, and I think they got the impression that she was actually working. But she was only arriving outside from whatever function she was to just have a beer.
Okay.
I think that's where the idea that that was Hallie, I think, that they thought wasn't cooperating with the police, but she was just a customer.
Okay. Okay. And you weren't familiar with this suspect, this
No,
Michael DeWard?
I never saw him before or since.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Carino, Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. With no questions, and the board will take this matter under advisement.
All right, thank you again.
Thank you. Item number 5 concerns the same licensee, Croke Park Inc., doing business as Croke Park at 268 West Broadway in South Boston. Date of this incident, May 31st, 2026, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, a knife, patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, Chapter 265, Section 15A. Who's present on behalf of the licensee? Oh, hang on, Mr. Kelly, you're on mute. Oh, 1 second. You're on mute again. There we go.
Are we good? Good. Okay, so it's Daniel Kelly again, and this time Laura Cole Akins, or
Laura Akins.
Laura Akins, yeah.
Great. And who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Detective Gallagher.
Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
No, that's it from here.
Boston Police Officer Wilney Ledesma.
Thank you. Oh,
Detective Hernandez, I'll be reading the supplemental.
thank you, Detective. Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Who will be reading the initial report into the record? That'd be Officer Ledesma.
Yep. I'll be reading the initial report. About 2:43 a.m. on Sunday, 5/31/2026, officers Ledesma and Lopez in the Fox 201 Alpha responded to a fight near 254 West Broadway, Croke Bar, South Boston. CAD notes, caller stated about 15 people are fighting at the above location. Also responding were Sergeant Farrell, the Fox 905, Detective Swain, Fox 804, Officers Glavin, Fox 431, Officer Rivera, Fox 411, Officers Chroma and Patterson, Fox 112, and Officers McCarthy and Martin, Fox K1. Upon arrival, Officers Ledesma and Lopez observed a male standing in front of 268 West Broadway, later identified as Jesse Callahan, while a white female and witness, later identified as Anya Marie Dillon, a friend of the victim. The friend/witness was holding a white towel to the victim's head. Officers Ledesma and Lopez immediately exited their cruiser and upon further inspection observed that the victim had apparent stab wounds to the back of his head, left forearm, and chest. The witness stated that she and the victim had been kicked out of the bar mentioned above and that a physical altercation subsequently occurred outside with approximately 5 white male suspects. The witness further stated that after the fight ended, the 5 suspects fled the area on foot towards C Street. The victim was conscious and alert, but was bleeding heavily from his injuries. Officers immediately requested Boston EMS to respond to the scene. Ambulance 1A06 arrived shortly thereafter, rendering medical aid and transported the victim to Tufts Medical Center for further treatment. Officers were later informed that the victim's injuries were not considered life-threatening. Officers Ledesma and Lopez immediately secured the crime scene with police tape from 272 West Broadway and followed a trail of blood to 248 West Broadway, where they observed what appeared to be pieces of human tissue. Sergeant Farrell, the Fox 905, responded to the scene and took over, along with Detective Sandra Swain, the Fox 804, who arrived on scene and assessed the scene.
Thank you very much, Detective Hernandez.
Yeah, I'm going to read it from a supplemental, which I wrote on Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the BPD licensed premise unit, responded to Croke Park. Detectives were there to speak to staff regarding a prior assault and battery with a dangerous weapon incident. The incident had occurred on Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Detectives spoke to the person in charge, Mr. Dan Kelly, who confirmed he was aware of the incident and had been working that evening. As a result of the incident, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license premise inspection notice 055000 for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, knife, patron on patron. Mr. Kelly signed for and accepted the notice. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Kelly, would you like to address the alleged incident?
I sure would. So we came in contact with this kid, Jesse Callahan, probably a year before that, Laura, would you think?
Correct, yes.
And I remember my interest in him is that he had 50 amateur boxing matches in Ireland, and I was continually trying to get him to stop drinking and doing whatever he was doing and fight, because that's my passion, is the boxing here. But the two different times about a year ago, he was barred for a short period of time, and we relented and let him back in again, and he started trouble again the second time. So from then on, he was permanently barred out of here. So he showed up that night around, was it 11:30?
Closer to 12.
Closer to 12, and we didn't let him in. So now there's going to be obviously a lot of detective work and a huge case over what happened, and it will be seen. Everybody will agree under oath that he wasn't in. You know what I mean? I don't feel they will have a difficult time proving that he wasn't let in. What else? We thought he was gone. It looked like he was gone.
He was definitely not, he was not out front. I was checking IDs.
Yeah, after whatever time we didn't let him in.
After midnight.
Because
and
we
he was
were,
not around.
yeah, we would have been a bit worried about him because he has bad blood with a lot of our regular customers that he blamed because he was thrown out before. And we already knew that, so we were keeping an eye out. So there was no sign of him between the time we wouldn't let him in and the
Until we
time,
closed.
because it was a bit busy that night and Laura was outside checking IDs and giving people the thing. So there was no sign of him up until such time as we were gone. We had everybody out probably at 2:10, and 10 minutes later we were
Locked and leaving.
locked and leaving. And I was in bed, unfortunately or unfortunately, before this went down outside. But we do know that he had bad blood with a lot of the regulars due to him being barred for life. He was blaming them for whatever trouble he was causing. But that's about the size of it.
Okay. Can we just back up a little bit? I was concentrating on what was in the police report and missed a little bit about what you said. The police report says that he was removed or kicked out of the bar.
Well,
That's false.
what that would mean is he wasn't let in
He was never allowed in the front door.
because he had a lifetime, because multiple incidents we
He's
had. with-
permanently barred from the establishment, and
Yeah.
I refuse to let him through the front door.
And like I say, with
Are you who? So I've never
I
been
was
here.
I was checking IDs that day,
Okay. And you saw him and you said,
and
"Sir,
I
you're
told
not
him he
allowed
was
to
he
come
knows
in."
he's not allowed, and to please leave, and just to not return again. Yes.
And what did he
He
describe to me
he
in
he
your
did
words?
why, and I said, you know why? I'm not going to go through this. The answer is no. You need to leave, and he walked away.
He walked away.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I never seen him again, and I had a line the last hour outside, so I was standing on the front stoop. So he was gone. I never seen him again. I don't know where he went.
Okay.
The point being, he must have showed up at closing time after everybody left.
Yeah, I don't know where he went, or but he was not on Broadway at all for the final hour of our opening.
Okay. Do you know this Enya Dillon?
No,
No,
she may have been in here.
she might have been in here
More likely was in
because
here.
there were a lot of young Irish kids in here.
And I can only assume that when she said kicked out, that would mean she was kicked out the same as everybody else was kicked out when it was closing time. But she had no problem.
I had no issues that evening at all. There were no issues at all that evening that I was aware of.
Okay. So the witness, who is Enya Dillon, stated that a physical altercation occurred outside with 5 white male suspects. Who are those people? And are they familiar to you or Jesse Callahan that you're aware of?
I would only have to, we weren't the witness to any of that, but I would only be telling you what I heard. If I could tell
It'd be
you.
hearsay, what we heard.
We were long gone before, we were gone out of here probably 2:20, and that was 20 minutes later, whatever happened outside. But I believe that the detectives are fully aware of everybody that was involved outside. And some of them were the people that Jesse Callahan had the problem with a year ago when he was barred the first time and the second time for life. He had an issue with these kids because he blamed them for the bad behavior he was doing himself.
Okay, so they're enemies or something.
Yes.
Jesse Callahan.
Well, definitely. I don't think there were enemies in our regulars' mind, but they're definitely enemies in Jesse Callahan's mind because it was, apparently we were hearing that Jesse Callahan was going to get them.
Okay. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you have any questions?
So Jesse Callahan wasn't inside, you're saying?
He was not.
Absolutely not. And like I say, there'll be a lot of further testimony with whatever case is going on, probably attempted murder, and there'll be nobody saying that he was inside.
He never crossed the threshold,
It
no.
would be a ridiculous lie for us to tell if it was a lie, because that's all going to come out in court in the near future. But
So-
there's no question whatsoever he was never in.
Okay. So Officer Ledesma,
Yes.
the report says that Enya Mary Dillon said that her and Callahan had been inside. Could you have mistaken her statement as being like what is your recollection of that statement?
My recollection is that she stated that they were both kicked out of the bar. That is all she said. She didn't elaborate further. And I was more preoccupied with getting the victim to the hospital to get treated. I didn't have time to dive into further questioning.
All right, that's fair. Thank you. I think that's all I have then.
Could just someone remind me of the time of the incident, please?
2:43 a.m.
Thank you.
I have another question. Do you have video cameras?
No.
I don't know if there are any video cameras from the street.
I believe there's video cameras of the incident from the street.
So you keep referring to a larger investigation. So is there an ongoing criminal
Well, there
investigation?
should be. The kid nearly got killed.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if I've spoken to the detectives about it, and I believe that there's a serious criminal investigation and that everything will come out. That's why, if anybody is doubting me, that if they could give us the benefit of the doubt to law, that it will be shown in a serious court that he wasn't inside.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
Are any further questions from the board? With that, the board will take this matter under advisement as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much, as usual.
Calling item number 6, Wendy's of New England LLC, doing business as Wendy's, located at 71 to 77 Summer Street. Date of the incident, May 12th, 2026. Assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, a knife, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. Assault and battery patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. And no posted common victualler license, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. Who is present on behalf of the licensee? Is anybody here on behalf of Wendy's? We will contact the licensee and take a second call. Calling item number 7, K&G Entertainment LLC, doing business as Sidebar, located at 14 to 16 Bromfield Street. Date of the incident, May 28th, 2026. Patron and DJ partaking of drugs, marijuana in front of the premise, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Service of more than 2 drinks of alcohol to one patron at a time, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
Me, I'm the GM. My name is Albert Ong. I'm the GM of Sidebar.
Thank you. Hang on. Not there quite yet. I see Ms. Fan as well. Thank you. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Detective William Gallagher.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
Detective Hernandez if needed.
Thank you. Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, you may please proceed.
Yes, on 5/28/2026 at about 9:30 p.m., Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to Licensed Premise Unit, conducted a licensed premise inspection of Sidebar at 14 Bromfield Street. As detectives were making their way to the front door, they observed 3 people off to the right of the door, openly rolling and consuming marijuana cigarettes. Detectives observed the group for a moment and, listening to one of the group informing the others that he was the DJ for karaoke tonight. Detectives did not observe anyone to be working the front door of Sidebar. Inside Sidebar, detectives observed the male patron walk away from the bar with a bucket of 6 beers to a table mid-restaurant. Detectives located the manager, Mr. Roberto Perez, and informed him of their observations. On inspection of Sidebar's city-issued entertainment license, detectives observed that karaoke entertainment is only allowed on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Detectives also brought this to the attention of Mr. Alvarez. As a result of what was observed, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license premise inspection notice number 054995 to Sidebar for patrons/DJ using drugs in front of licensed premise, service of more than 2 drinks to 1 patron at a time, mass prohibited practices, 204 CMR 4, Section B, karaoke entertainment taking place against restrictions on entertainment license. Mr. Roberto Alvarez signed for and accepted the notice. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ong, Ms. Fan, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yes, I'd like to apologize and say, first of all, our incident with the DJ is not a good reflection of us. What our workers do in their free time is in their free time. However, because he was rolling an unsolicited substance, we have made it a new rule that if you are going to do it before work and try to do it out of the vicinity of any customers and out of the vicinity of the business. Especially speaking, we have our designated smoking areas now. They're located either in the front of the bar, away from the entrance, as well as to the sides. So it's not gonna, the smell and there are no environmental hazards. Is also located next to smoking butt trash facilities. In addition, we have also implemented more security. So there's also a security guard every single day after 9 p.m., regardless if there is karaoke or not. During that inspection of checking our karaoke only being on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I have reprimanded that appeal. I have already done the presentation. I have done the abusers meeting. It's been submitted, I believe, last week. I'm just waiting for the approval and any status updates from the city of Boston. With that speaking, I have also told all of my bartenders that they all have to, like, not only do they have to pass the tip certification test, there's the new rule of no one receives a bucket unless there's at least 3 individuals, and no one receives a bucket unless you can physically walk and go to the patrons on either the bar or the table, regardless of if it's packed, regardless if it's a World Cup game, regardless of the occupancy number, because we want to make sure that we're not serving anyone who's under the legal limit, under the legal age, as well as making sure that everyone meets all the criteria of not being fully inebriated or highly intoxicated.
Thank you. Anything further to add before we move to questions from the board?
No, that'd be all.
Thank you. We'll see if there are any questions at this time. Chairman Joyce.
How long have you worked there, Albert?
I want to say 4 years now.
Okay. Were you there that night?
That night, no, I came in around like 30 minutes later because I was running an errand really quick.
Okay. I was there that night. Are you aware that people can't smoke marijuana in front of your premise?
I'm aware that no one can smoke in general, like
Right.
even cigarettes or whatnot. I can't really tell people like to not smoke marijuana in front of my business. So I told everyone like, all right, there's designated smoking areas now. Like you got to smoke not in front of the door. You know, not only can people get allergy attacks or asthma attacks, like a public health risk, but also it just doesn't look professional as a bar. So I told all of my patrons and all of my workers, if you want to do like smoke or whatnot, to go across, because there's like there's a street across from the bar. So you can either smoke there or you can smoke to the left. There's like that dump area. So it's farther from the entrance.
I'll just give you my opinion. This is just my opinion. It looked really, it didn't look safe at all when I walked up there that night. There were people sitting on the sidewalk, rolling joints, your DJ outside, smoking with them. To me, that didn't give the presence of a professionally run business. So you and Lanny should really talk about that.
Yes.
And no one seemed to be really bothered by it, which was even more disturbing to me. So I know you guys are going through some management difficulties, but and no one really understood what was on their licenses, what days they're allowed to have DJs, and as chair of the board and 2 Boston police officers walked in, no one seemed to really care either. I did feel bad for some of the staff who were like, "Oh no, we had no clue. You know, it's really hard. We we're having a difficult time here." But this was May, and I really hope you put some things in place, because we went down that night because I specifically asked to join the licensed premise unit on inspection because you've been before us so many times. And I was concerned about how things were being operated. I was not impressed that night. So I really hope you're putting some things in place to improve your operations, because I would not feel like that is a very welcoming, safe environment.
I do agree. We have been making a lot of changes towards security. So, like we said, there's security every single day, as well as there's no more loitering. We have informed all police individuals of all activities of any individuals that have been either causing fights, causing mishaps, or just known in the community to being bad apples. Not only are they not allowed here, we have told all patrons to not serve them and to also call the police whenever you see them around, because not only are they banned, they're just
Yeah.
soliciting like unprofessional business.
So, thank you so much I just want to say thank you so much for always there to helping us to improve better business. Same thing with the city of Boston, always there to help me to fix my mistake. The same time with the police department, always there to help us to improve. And with that area, even people I been seen last year, they always give me the problem. They always want to come back. If I don't let them come back, they threaten me. They're gonna bring bad people here, this and that. At the same time, I'm trying my promise to all your support. I'm always promised that I will do my best. Me and Al will do our best to keep the place safe and follow all the rules. We have the notes, we have the sign for notaring everywhere at the bar, because I don't want people smoke in the front. I don't want people like do anything, because even myself, if that's not my bar, I don't want to go if I would see people hanging in front of the bar. It looks very unsafe.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go there myself either.
Yes. So I put that on my feeling. And that area it's very hard for me to control everything. Like I said, people I ban, they come back and forth, they want to see me, they want to talk to me, they want to come in. If I don't let them come in, they do other way. But I'm definitely not let them back in. And like I said, my promise to everybody that I will try my hardest to keep things safe and follow the rules. Thank you so much for always teach us how to do better in our business. And me and Al will take all the advice, and we're gonna have the meeting with the staff after today to be more strict with everything that we learned from today here.
What time does your doorman bouncer start?
He starts at 9 o'clock every day, except on some days, like during the World Cup, we can have him come earlier if we're expecting high traffic.
Whenever we see it's busy, we have two security just to make sure that if one cannot come, on that time, or I just want to have people like whenever if I see it's busy or feel unsafe, I will have another person come early.
Okay, because just one more observation is your staff seemed overwhelmed. I actually felt bad for them. But I do think a stronger presence at the door would help send a message that it's being operated properly, that it's safe to come in, and then that strong presence at the door would probably, not make people feel comfortable rolling joints in front and sitting on your sidewalk. So I think it's good if 9 o'clock, they weren't there the night I was there, they were coming later, but 9 o'clock sounds like you're trying to put better measures in place. Sergeant Gallagher or Detective Hernandez, do you have anything you want to add that I may have missed?
I think you covered everything, Commissioner. Like we observed that night, everyone seemed to be very comfortable outside smoking. And while I know marijuana consumption is legal in Massachusetts, it is legal only in your house. And people think that you can smoke wherever you want. Also, if someone's out there smoking a controlled substance, then they're coming into your bar, you don't know what's going to happen. Not combining alcohol and, drugs, it's going to affect people differently. And it's not a good look, like the commissioner says. And if this person has a reaction either to the marijuana or the marijuana and the alcohol combined, you're going to own them if they start causing problems. And it's like you said, it just doesn't look well. And you wouldn't want to have to walk past it to go into a place because it just gives an unsafe vibe.
I agree. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you for your help.
Welcome.
Sorry, Commissioner Curran, do you have any questions or comments, or Commissioner Saxon?
Actually, my first question would be for Attorney Green. Have we received the write-up from this premises that we requested in April?
We did receive emailed correspondence. I'm sorry if it's not in the folder for today. I'll make sure that it's shared with you all.
Okay, I'd like to review that. One statement kind of from Albert struck me is, you talked about not being able to tell people what to do outside, but that's not really true. You can engage with people. Obviously, you don't have like legal authority over them, but the expectation is that someone's outside, they're engaging with potential patrons, and that's a good way to screen whether you want this person in your premises at all. So that's the expectation, in a non-confrontational, de-escalatory way to be engaging with your patrons, your potential patrons, people who have been in and out. And like Sergeant Detective Gallagher said, it's technically not illegal to consume marijuana, but how much you want to be engaged with kind of controlling what people are doing, but you want to be aware of it. You want to be evaluating your patrons, what their state is, and that will inform whether you're going to serve them, which is why you can only deliver 2 drinks. That's my opinion. That's the purpose of the 2-drink rule, is you want to be evaluating your patrons every single time you're delivering them a drink, and having more knowledge whether they've consumed marijuana too, is important to not turn a blind eye to. So we don't want willful ignorance here. We want you evaluating your patrons. We want you engaging with them. If someone who is trying to come in and you're asking them politely to do something for you as a favor to you, and they're telling you to shove off, maybe you don't want that patron in your establishment. So for all these reasons, we want a presence outside, and we want you to actually scrutinize what your patrons will be like if you let them in. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you so much.
I just want to confirm, did you guys say that you have signs? Do you have no smoking signs outside of the establishment?
Yep, we have them located all up in our front door and the other side of the door, especially with the no loitering signs. And whenever patrons are like, "Oh, can I smoke over here?" I'm like, "Oh, you can either go up in front, like cross the street, or you can go towards the left. Like you can go take a left. That little dump area is a lot more open, and it's farther from the establishment."
Thank you. Are there any further questions from the board on this matter? The board will take this on. Board will take this under.
Can
Yes,
I
Ms. Mann.
have one? I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Is that illegal for me to put the signs in front of the bar that they cannot smoke weed in front of the bar, or I cannot do that?
You can absolutely do that. It is not legal to smoke
Oh, okay.
cannabis in public in Massachusetts.
Al, can you write that down, please? Like we can make, they say it we legal to can make the sign right in front of the bar that they're not allowed to smoke in weed right there.
That's correct. You can do that.
Al, can you note that, please? Because make all the side that, even when we making the side, we're making sure, the doorman will understand and have to follow the rule too. Thank you so much for the help and for the advice to keep our place, keep improving better. And I'm so sorry to bring the problem to the city. And we will try the best to fix things as much as we could.
Thank you all. The board will take this under advisement. We will now take a second call on item 1. Has anybody joined us on behalf of Royale? Does not appear so. Chairman Joyce, how would you like to proceed with this item?
This is like a very serious matter, and I feel as if we even read it into the record and voted on Thursday, it wouldn't do us any good, because it would be something that I believe the licensee would want to be here to discuss, and it would be appealable, whatever decision we made. However, I would like to get in touch with them today. I don't know if we can write them up for failure to appear at a hearing for the second time, or is this the first time?
This will be the first time. They were present the first time we heard this.
Yeah. Commissioners, Sergeant Gallagher here. We have notices on our desk that we were unable to hand deliver. I'm not sure who their email contact is, but Royale was one of them, and I think the other one was Wendy's. So because of FIFA and tall ships and conflicting schedules, and they're not open 7 days a week, we did not get to hand serve those two no-shows today. So I'm not sure if that has any bearing on this.
Got it. That is helpful. Thank you. Just in case, I will ask same question, the second call. Has anybody appeared on behalf of Wendy's? And same thing, you were unable to hand serve them, Sergeant Detective? Okay.
Yes.
Chairman Joyce, I assume we would like to reschedule that one as well?
Yep.
Okay. Those two items will be rescheduled to the next available hearing date. Those are all the items before the board this morning. With that said, that will adjourn this hearing. So thank you all, and please do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.